Hi my loves, welcome back to today's video. I am giving you guys our first little sneak peek to Lil Peep on this channel with a documentary, okay? I love documentaries, and I've read some of your guys' comments where you guys say like most people can't watch long form content, but my documentaries do the best on this channel. So I think I'm going to still incorporate them where I can find them for each artist. You know, every artist at this point kind of has a documentary, but yeah, I just figured it would be a good like little intro. I haven't heard any of his music actually. Lil Peep is not an artist. I don't know if I've listened to any of his songs. But anyways, without further ado guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. This is a long ass documentary. So we are definitely going to have to break this up into parts. So I'll probably do the first half hour today, and yeah. 3, 2, 1, insert. Alright y'all, I'm excited. I be loving some documentaries.
My song. Where do I go? I don't. Follow me. Follow me. I love you, though. I love you.
To see. How strange. So far from his family puppet, you see the promise of glory. Can this be him? Tell me.
Dear grandson, my prophet, my tattooed poet of the sweetheart. The wounds your father gave you, God did not heal, but did close, even if in scars, so that you received this strength to stand up against him for yourself, to declare just as a boy your independence, and to determine to grow into your own man. This is one of your gifts and wonders that makes me admire you, makes me happiest about you, for you. Only I ask you, in dead seriousness, think about what being a man is. The strength of heart to fight for love, to defend it over and over and over again. That's manly.
I love you too.
Anyway, it'll be wonderful to see you. I much look forward to it. Love, your Grandpa Packak.
We'll just spray out through, clip it right there.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. Let's do it through my jacket. What I could do maybe? Nah, I'll do it on the jacket, yeah.
You want me to put
Yeah.
Bro, you're so professional, bro.
Yeah, I know, that shit's crazy.
You have all the gear and everything, like, it's nice. Alright, could I get you to just say something quick?
Yeah, I was just picking my nose. I hope you weren't recording.
How long you guys been working on music?
Shit. I've been working on music like 7, 8 months now, bro. I'm all over the place right now. Like, I'm gonna be staying here, I'm gonna be staying in LA, you know what I'm saying? I just fuck with my friends, yo.
It's just some family shit, bro.
Yeah, it's just some family shit.
Lil Peep fans, okay, I'm assuming his music was like similar to, artists like X. I don't know, from like the little clips I've seen so far, it sounds like he obviously has a completely different sound, but like I assume his audience of, people were younger, more vulnerable people searching for something. Like a lot of these artists, unfortunately, who have passed away young, that's what a lot of their following was. I'm interested, like, this is like the first documentary of an artist that like truly I have not heard anything about. Aside from when he died, I couldn't even tell you like how he passed away. He's honestly like, I think the first documentary I've watched of an artist that I really have nothing, I don't know anything about. So I'm kind of interested because I'm going in without any sort of opinions or preconceived notions or thoughts. It's just gonna be a blank reaction today, y'all. But I will say the opening line of his grandfather, oh, that's like so precious, but I also think so sad. Obviously, I don't know if his grandfather passed away before he did or vice versa, but if he did, if Lil Peep passed away before his grandfather, I think that's got to be like one of the most tragic things. Like it's one thing, they say like parents are never supposed to bury their children. Imagine being like a grandparent burying your grandchild. Like, that's definitely not the way life is supposed to go.
I don't think I have an all red. Don't touch, because they're very delicate. I touched. Okay, well, you know how to touch gently. I've seen you be
I touched gently.
a very good gentle toucher. All done eating? Took tea. I bet that was good. Let's just take a little spongy.
Like that.
Yeah.
The night that he was born, he opened his eyes and looked me right in the eye in a way that I was completely surprised by. Great big brown eyes, and he looked at me like, okay, so introductions, let's go. And I said, hi, I'm your mama and I love you. It was like, I'll never forget that moment. And he was like a little tiny, like the little characters in Snow White. They're like little Walt Disney characters with these big eyes. So he was just like a little peep.
I want to do this. I want to do that, the talking.
Well, you're talking now. I can hear you.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, I can hear you in the camera. That's called a microphone. You don't want to grab it.
I want to do the microphone.
Gus had a way about him. When he would walk into the class, he always had a smile. Always had a smile. And the first thing he would say is, "Good morning, Mrs. Camacho." You know, one thing that got me was his creativity.
The Three Lil Gangsters. Oh, I wonder if I can read it. Yo, yo, yo. Wants to live. You see that it was these three little gangsters and a big bad cop. So the gangster names... I'm sorry, I can't read that all the way. Oh my gosh. And I think it's interesting, right? Because they showed like the glimpses of his show, and he's got like that big like fiery skull looking thing in the background. And at a young age, you know, he's illustrating flames and like, I don't know, I feel like in a way it's got to be just like that fire inside of him. Like I feel like you just get those vibes right off the bat. I don't know, I feel like you just get those vibes right away that he had a fire inside of him. And I think before he even knew it,
He's
it was there,
a very creative
you know?
artist and writer. And I picked up on that very quickly.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
I can't do it.
Oh, come on, you can do it.
No.
Yeah, come on, you can do it. You can do it.
There we go. I'm done.
Okay, you're feeling a little shy, aren't you? I can tell there's mischief in your eyes, and yet...
But if you meet me in real life, you'll find out that I'm not very confident, and I'm a very sensitive person. And I have a lot of insecurities.
It wasn't just like I'm writing catchy songs. I feel like Gus talked about the pain too, and a lot of people were drawn to it because he was brutally honest about it.
I remember we'd like go out and he had all these tattoos, and he's always like, "Don't you feel weird like walking into a restaurant with me?" And I'd be like, "Why do you get all these tattoos if you care so much about it? Like, if you're going to be so insecure about it, why did you do that?" Because he was like, he knew people were judging him, and it did upset him.
I used to bike everywhere. Like, where I grew up in New York was a really small surfing community, so everyone just biked everywhere. Like, they actually made it, like, I remember the year I moved, they made it illegal to be drunk on a bike. Like, you can get pulled over. The DUI, yeah. And I'm also a professional handlebar rider. I can hop on someone's handlebars if they're going like 30 miles an hour. They're like, whoo!
Honestly, a huge reason he did it was he was like, I'm not gonna have like a normal job. I don't ever want a normal job, and I'm going to make myself not be this like normal person.
Being a normal kid in Long Beach is you're going to the beach all the time. You want to be a lifeguard because that's the coolest thing you can be in middle school or high school, is that you're a lifeguard. And you're playing lacrosse and you're playing beach volleyball. And it's very much a small beach town. In Long Beach, it's almost like a tribalism of we're from Long Beach and we do things our way and everyone else is trash.
Gus, from the beginning, he was a creative and different kid. Big, pink and green Osiris's on that, went up to his knees. So he stood out just from the start. Probably had a mohawk at the time, too. He communicated through his image, and, you could tell that he was different from the rest of us.
Stop. Okay, stop. You're crushing my soul.
It tickles.
It tickles. My lips.
I remember in 10th grade when we were dating, and he didn't answer me for 2 hours. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he was like, my parents are getting divorced. And the day after, he broke up with me and we didn't speak for a really long time. And after that, he was completely a different person. He started hanging out with different people. He came to school less, stopped going to his class.
I feel like, honestly, that is such a, how do I word it? I feel like that is such an impactful thing in a lot of people's lives that is so underrated in a lot of ways, because I've come from a 2-parent household. My parents have been married over 30 years, and I truthfully can not even imagine what it would have been like to experience a separation in the household, and to just kind of watch your parents go one day loving each other, and then through the years watching those differences that can't be mended, and eventually they separate. I honestly, I cannot imagine it, and I feel so very grateful and blessed, and I think it has had such a positive impact on my life never having went through that. But I do think it's an issue that I feel like people just kind of, not everyone, obviously. I think if you've experienced it, you understand, just the turmoil of it. But I think it's something that a lot of people kind of also just look over as just a part of life. And of course it is, but I just feel like it's something that will impact the children their whole life. And I feel like a lot of people, when you come from a broken family, it becomes, your look on relationships and love looks a lot different, where I feel like sometimes I have this fairy tale version of love because I just saw it work out so well with my parents, even though they had their own issues. No relationship is perfect, but they always stuck together. And I feel like had I not had that, I don't know. I guess I feel like at least my friends that I have who have had divorced parents, I feel like they always had almost a more realistic, almost slightly pessimistic version of love, but also a very real just idea of what a relationship really takes. And I think it's because when you watch such a significant breakdown in two of the most important people in your lives, and you witness it and you see the effects, you start to see relationships for what they truly can be. And I think that was something I had to learn the hard way, because I had such, like I said, a fairy tale version of love, that it took me a long time to understand that unfortunately is not the reality for a lot of people. And I think it's sad that you learn that at such a young age. And I don't know, I guess I would just be interested to know if any of you guys, of course, if you're comfortable sharing, if you come from separated, broken households, how did that affect you, through your teenage years and beyond? Because I think I will never have that perspective, because I was not raised that way, so I think in a lot of ways I wasn't exposed to a lot of the things a lot of people were. So I would be interested to hear how that affects you.
He used to talk to me about how much he hated high school, and he'd throw up in the morning sometimes before he had to go.
They were all judging him. You know, well, you're not an athlete, and you're smoking pot, and you're getting tattoos, and you're not applying to college. And he told that to me, and he cried. He just felt like an absolute loser. I was worried about him, yeah, for quite a while, because he was in his bedroom, and he had to have black curtains, so it was all dark in there, and it just seemed so grim. He was in there a lot and sad. He was in.
Which I feel like another thing, like, I don't know, obviously high school, I think is one of the most brutal places for a lot of kids, especially when you're coming into yourself and it doesn't look like what people say is normal or what is, you know, acceptable. And if you don't fit in that box, you know, it's just like, I remember high school, and I remember the way some kids were treated, and it was just so fucked up. Kids are brutal. But I feel like, you know, like a lot of kids who have, you know, like the emo rooms, you know, in the dark, gothic, whatever they wanted to label it as, right? Not them, but people looking from the outside. I think it's just a true representation of how your mental health a lot of times is projected through your environment. And, you know, I think it's just kind of a representation of how he was feeling on the inside. So I don't know, I will always feel bad for people who had like terrible high school experiences, because it's such a developmental time in your life, and everyone just wants to be accepted, not even, you know, fitting in, because I think the whole idea of fitting in is like a very toxic social construct. But I think every teenager looks for just acceptance, for being able to just be who you are unapologetically, and unfortunately for a lot of people that's not the case.
516 and what else?
965.
964.
965.
Like, I would hang out with Gus when he didn't want to think about that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, he was always like really good at like hiding like any feelings that he had or anything like that. He was good at it. So like, it was hard. It's hard to tell like whether or not he was like bothered. You know what I mean? It always was.
He would run away, like we would just dip from the school, and that's when he would just like record most of the early on stuff.
You've been blessed.
I remember laying in his bed, and his name was Trap Goose at the time, and he was like, I think I'm gonna change my name to Lil Peep. And I was like, why? And he's like, my mom calls me Peep. And I was like, I think that's kind of weird. Like, it sounds like Lil Penis. And I made fun of him for it. And he was like, no, I'm doing it, I don't care.
Big Boss on the track, boy.
Me personally, like, I thought, like, if you wanted to be a rapper, you were a fucking idiot. Like, come on. There's just so many other things that you could be in life. Like, why do you want to be a rapper? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But when Gus was doing it, I obviously had that same kind of thought, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, just do something normal. But I was still his friend, and I wasn't going to sit there and tell him that. Like, I never told him, like, be something else. Like, because I knew that he was serious about it.
He didn't want to go see anybody he knew, and in our town, you go anywhere, you know somebody.
Why is that? Like, I mean, I feel like, I could see the obvious connotations to, like, hip-hop music and rap, but at the same time, like, I never really understood why there was such a negative feeling towards people who want to be artists. Like, I just think it's another form of art. You know what I mean? Like, if someone woke up and was like, I want to paint canvases, I want to have an art gallery, most of us wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, why would you want to do that, you know? But like, when it comes to music, I feel like a lot of people have a similar story where you know, people just like look at it weird. And I never truly understood that, because I think it's just another expression of art, and for a lot of people in the deepest, most relatable way possible, because music is the core of so much, you know, like without music, I feel like some of the most beautiful moments in life are just like dull. Music brings such a light and a hope. And it's just, I don't know, I think music is such a beautiful thing. So like, I guess, like I said, I could understand like the negative connotations to hip hop culture as a whole, but I also never really related with feeling like it was weird if people wanted to be a rapper. But I also do feel like it depends on, I guess, your reasoning, because you'll always have those few people that kind of give the whole bunch a bad name, and the people who maybe aren't in it for the right reasons. But I feel like for the most part, people who go on to really make an impact on people's lives were always in it just to do something that they loved and to reach people in a way that
they're gonna
made
say,
the most
oh,
sense
what are
in
you
their
doing
lives,
now?
you know?
And what was he gonna say? Like, oh, I'm making music. Like, nobody would have thought anything of it. And he would have just been like judged by it.
Yeah, but it was always very good. The only other thing.
Basically, my father was like a surrogate father. You know, he was the guy that Gus figured, okay, my own blood father is definitely not somebody I respect, certainly, and not somebody I'm going to waste my energy on. And he, I think, kind of transferred his, you know, who was my male figure, you know, onto his grandpa.
I remember Gus literally told me once, if he was to die, he thinks Jack would be like the person welcoming into heaven. Like, he literally thought like Jack was God. He loved him so much. He was like super just intelligent, very smart, but he also like didn't judge anybody. He'd always say that. Whenever Gus like got a new tattoo or something, Jack like wouldn't even notice. Like, he just like looked him straight in the eyes always, and I think Gus like really appreciated that.
My dad is a big letter writer. He's old school, so he does like to write a lot of emails, but he also does like to write actual letters and send them in the mail. I mean, he wrote to the boys a lot, and he felt that it was important to write to both of them. Gus was home, Oscar was in college, but Gus was floundering. So he just wanted to reach out to Gus and write to him.
Dear Gus, I think your mama asked you if you'd like to do that research for me at the NYU library for pay and travel and other expenses into the city and out. Let me know if you'll do it. I'm sure you can do it. Your mama and I can easily explain how. I believe in you, Gus. I know you'll find your way, and it'll be a good, strong way. These days especially, take good care of yourself. Think about things you really like or don't like. Wonder why you like them or don't. Talk to your friends about them, or make friends that do want to talk about them. Life is full of surprises. Some of them, I know from my experiences, are very bad, but some are wonderful. I can tell you, too, that these years you're living now, 16, 17, are particularly hard years. It's hard to know what to do, but you'll get through them, and things will start to get clear and make sense. Whatever you may say or do, have faith in yourself and in your mama. I do look forward to seeing you at some point over the summer. Love, Pack, your grandpa.
Wait, you don't even have to do a music video.
Can I say that is just so true? And like, from what I've kind of, I don't know, come to learn is like, your teenage years and your 20s are like the years of discovering, of seeking out, of trying to figure out who you are. And like by the time you get in your 30s, you know, a lot of times I feel like that's when who you are and who you want to be start to come together, you know. And I don't know, I heard something and basically it was explained that we are all searching for the secrets of life. And as you start to live in your purpose and you start to find your purpose, that's when the secrets of life start revealing themselves to you. And I feel like it's so true, because not living a life that people want you to live, not living a life that sounds good, living in your purpose truly with what you were destined to do and, you know, what you were born to do, what you were put on this earth to do. When you start doing that, I really do feel like you start to uncover the secrets of life, because for most of us, that's all we're searching for. We're searching for purpose. We're searching for something that's going to, as cheesy as it sounds, you know, like set your soul on fire, give you that passion to just want to, you wake up and that's what you want to do every day. And I think that really is the secret to life, finding those things, because through that, when you're living that, I think that's when you start to really learn a lot about yourself, a lot about the people around you, and a lot about life in general. And I just think his grandpa writing to him is one of the sweetest things ever. And like hearing the letters read, it kind of like, it tugs at your heart a little bit. Not just how sweet the letters are, but like the delivery. It's just, oh, it's so bittersweet, because they're such sweet things. And I could only imagine how much that positively influenced him and inspired him, you know, because if you're insecure and you're struggling to find your place in this world, but you have one person who constantly tells you that what you're doing, who you are, is more than enough, and the journey of life you're on is only going to get you where you want to be, you know, I feel like that's enough. A lot of us just need one person, and the fact that it was his grandpa, and the fact that he kind of stepped into that father role so easily, so naturally, just from a place of pure love,
I don't know.
It's so special.
Where? Walk away. I'm telling you, it fucking looks cool.
She tells me she's not upset, but look at her.
We started to make the music videos because we were just like bored and wanted to get out of the house, and it was something to get Gus out of the house, because other than that, he wasn't leaving his room. It had to be like music involved. So I wanted to go to my house when we did the Live Forever music video, and I was like, if we go to my house, I'll shoot a music video for you. He was like, fine, we could go.
I messaged him on SoundCloud and I was like, bro, you're amazing. I had a small following, like 5,000 followers. He had like 200 or some shit. But I just love this shit. I was like, bro, let's make some music. Like, I love what you're doing.
I remember looking at you through the window in my bedroom.
And then, yeah, he sent his clips through. Like, he had the dustiest green screen. It was like a green bed sheet.
Yeah,
like,
it was
and I had like green cardboard here. We was both like,
yeah, we
didn't know what we were doing. And like, you can see the green line around us and shit when I edited it.
It was perfect though, now when you look back at it.
Yeah, because we were so new to it, you know.
In Schema, we had like 30 rappers.
We were like Wu-Tang or like old 3 6 Mafia. I only needed to hear like the first 4 bars of Lil Peep. That's it. I sent Peep a DM, matter of fact. And the first thing I told him was, we're gonna blow you up. Like, I didn't say, hey, what's up? My name Green, blah, blah, blah. All I said was, we're gonna blow you up. And then later on, I think we all hopped on the phone. It just was like planning shit out. How we gonna do things, and we're gonna do a tour here, and yada, yada, yada. So it started like in Tucson.
It was like, I don't know, it was kind of surreal because I was like, well, I'm out here with a bunch of people that I've like met on the internet, and like we're doing this thing now. We're like playing a show together and stuff. I remember like 30 or 40 kids showed up, and the venue looked like it used to be a meth den or something, and then there was an explosion and they like gutted everything. Like it was just a total shithole, but it was awesome. And there was no stage. There was obviously a few songs of mine that went off, but like Gus played Beamer Boy because Beamer Boy like just came out at that time, and it was just everyone in that bitch was singing. Like it was so crazy.
At that point, he was real happy at that point, because I think from that show, he started to believe that, you know what, I can actually do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
We're performing that our tracks we made. Yeah. But how we're gonna do it is you guys are gonna go on first, do your opening thing, and then like when we all come out, me, Jay, and Ghost, I'm gonna do them with you guys.
Oh, bet. So it's like a segue into it.
Yeah, like you guys do your shit first, and then once us three come out, you know, I'm probably gonna do Beamer Boy like second. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my set.
I remember that table broke, everybody fell, and then I like grabbed my laptop, plugged the aux back in. They were like on the microphone. I'm like holding my shit like this, playing the music. There's no more table.
Guys, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted is I feel like it has to be such a beautiful thing to be a supporter at this time and genuinely experiencing his music in its purest form. Where at this point, like, yeah, like you're starting to develop a following, but at the same time, I feel like you're still so inspired and incredibly passionate about what you're doing because nothing has been tainted. It's just like, I feel like it would be such an amazing blessing to be someone who was able to witness artists at this point in time and to be able to look back years later and be like, wow, I was at one of those shows when there were only this amount of people there. I was this close to him. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that is so, it's awesome. And I don't know, I think it's just like, I hope to experience that one day. I really do, but it's like at the same time, like, how do you know which, like, as a fan, as a listener of music, how do you know which artists are going to just like make a wave and really blow up? Like, do you know, or are you just enjoying someone for what they're creating and enjoying the experience? And if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere, but you're not really ever looking forward to I don't know. I just feel like it would be such a trippy time in the best way possible.
One day we were sitting outside of this pizza shop. Gus was like, how long have we been, like we were trying to calculate how long we've been in Denver and shit. And we all were like, yeah, that was like, the show was like 2 weeks ago, right? And we were all like, yeah, that must have been like 2 weeks ago. And then we like looked at the calendar and it had been like 2 months since the show. And then that's when we were like, fuck, we gotta like get out of here.
Haters, bro. You wanna see some fresh? Some fresh? Okay. Oh, what? Dude! Holy shit, bro. Wait, you didn't get it on video, did you?
What's up? What's up? What's lit, dude?
Fucking slacks.
Hey, Pete.
Say what's up.
And we would go to get tattooed in San Diego with Brennan. There was this guy that tattoos us there, and he's an actual cop, and he like tattoos out of his garage. Me and Pete went down to San Diego on the same day that day, and he went to his tattoo appointment because it was before mine. Me and Brennan went to the mall, and then we met up with Pete, and as we walked into the dude's house, Pete was literally like finishing up his crybaby tat, and we looked at it and we were like, dude, we did not know it was gonna be that big. And it showed me, it was like, he doesn't give a fuck, like he knows what he has, he knows where this is going.
I remember kind of laughing and I was like, bro, what is up with the tattoo? Because at the time, no other young rappers like this had face tattoos. And then he was talking about like, I swear he was like talking about like some conflict in Syria or something.
I think it was partly an identification with oppressed people. He, I think, really wanted to make himself an outsider.
I definitely think the planet is very sad. There's people fighting to survive, so live on for them. Well, that's why I got the crybaby tat, to keep me grateful and remind me not to be a crybaby, so I see it every time I look in the mirror, you know?
Everyone saw that he was going to be something special, so everyone wanted to be around him, wanted to be.
And I feel like it wasn't necessarily to make himself an outsider. I feel like he was an outsider. And that was the best and most authentic part about him. And he just used that to develop his image. And I think it benefited him in the long run because he was authentically who he was, you know? Like he was just doing things that may sound unorthodox or look unorthodox to the average person, but he was really creating his identity, recreating his identity. And I think, you know, like a lot of people judge face tattoos and things. Personally, I don't really find an issue with it, you know, like I don't know, like I never really understood why like having a face tattoo was like so much different than having tattoos on the rest of your body, you know, but I'm also like an advocate for tattoos, okay? I like tattoos personally, but I always, you know, like there's always such a negative connotation to having tattoos on your face, but it's like, I don't really see an issue with it. It's just another part of your body. And I feel like I always respect people who use their bodies as a canvas and as a way to express themselves in ways that they may not have been able to before. And it's kind of like he was creating an image. And he used being an outsider as what was incredibly unique about him.
And not even like, I'm not talking about leeching or anything, though there has been some of those people in his life.
I start seeing people coming over that I never even heard before. Sometimes you'll wake up, you go to the living room, you see about 10 bodies all laid out. And so you gotta get to the kitchen and you gotta step over motherfuckers like this. People you never even heard of before. Everybody just laid out. And then we like, Pete, what the fuck, who are these people? You know, and I was telling him, I'm like, why do you think you got 30 new best friends like that? He will always tell me, yo, man, yo, so-and-so said they'll pay for this for me and that for me and yada yada for me. And I was just like, It's a matter of time. It'll like this. And then the next day, everybody announced they were gone. He said it wasn't for him. So he bounced. And then when he made that decision, that's when everybody followed suit. And it was over with. Scheme was over with.
This is gonna be filming you like playing your DS. That was good.
Dear Gus, I hear you had a pretty hard week. I'm sorry. But once you get big, and you're big now, it can get very spooky when you have a really hard fight. It's maybe hardest because even after the dust settles, it's hard to know how to reconnect, what to say, what to think even to yourself. There are lots of people in the world, crappy as it is, whom you will learn you cannot trust. You may like them or not, you may work with them or not, but you can't trust them. If you do, they'll betray you. But there are people whom you can trust, in whom you can have faith. I know so sure that I'd put my hand in the fire to prove it. Keep your faith, and the love will always be there. Love, your Grandpa Packak.
In 2016, in the spring, Gus became homeless. And he'll call me, Mama, my phone's about to die, the card isn't working. And I say every time, are you with anybody? Because moms want to know, is my son alone or does he have a friend that he's at least with? And it was always, yeah, Tracy. So there was always this Tracy who was always with him. And I thought, okay, thank goodness for Tracy. Tracy's at least sticking by my son.
We were like pretty much like glued together. Before any one of us had a crib, a house or anything. Like,
I used to think I love you, now I know it ain't true, now I know it's not you, 50 on my boxes.
everything we did was easy. It was like drinking water. It was just like another track.
Peep just automatically liked Tracy. He was like, he said to me, he brought Tracy to my house. He's like, bro, this guy's, I gotta keep him with me. You know, like he's gonna be a star.
Peep had definitely found somebody that he could really fucking make music with, you know? They made White Tea within a day of knowing each other, I think, and shot the video like that same week or some shit like that. And that shit just did amazing.
He's really fast. There's never like, he's definitely not an artist that would ever like plan anything out. It's never like you would be like, yeah, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do, like maybe like a little bit, but not really. He's very just like, let's do it now.
They got Fuji, they got Fuji. Do we usually smoke per beat?
No, we can.
Play it.
I really like that beat.
I love that beat. Oh, let's use that beat. It's done.
It's right now.
Send it to me.
Don't forget.
Yeah, send it to me right now because I tweeted it.
What's the name?
Nah, I'm just gonna write dropping within 20 minutes on.
Yeah.
Dropping within 20 minutes. Not 15 minutes. Fuck that, I'm only 20 minutes. Wanna get into the bus, good up, motherfucker. Back to the club, fucked up on some other shit. All I ever wanted was a Benz and a bag.
Gus was recording anywhere he could. He didn't care what room it was, what he was doing, you know. It's just like they were just recording in the corner of my room. It wasn't even how I would want them to record, but it was what was most comfortable for them. And with his mix on his laptop, it didn't matter where you recorded it. Somehow it just sounded good.
I don't even know how to record myself. I just like turned a bunch of knobs that I didn't know what they meant. Like I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. People be asking me questions like.
So I feel like he always kind of downplayed his own, like, skills with all of that. Because like whenever I watched him do it, there was like a very calculated formula behind the way that he made his voice work on a song. And he made do with whatever he had, you know, whether it was the USB microphone or GarageBand or a $30 VHS camera that I had to shoot the video with. Like, he's just like, this is what we got. We're gonna make it work, and it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be exactly what it's supposed to be.
I'd never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? It really felt like, I was like, damn, this is like the new generation of music. I was like, all these kids are just moving out to LA and staying in Airbnbs and just like pitching in $30 a day, like doing repost or whatever. I was like, it was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen before.
How many people total are there in GBC?
10. Is it 10?
Yeah.
Okay. We all met.
It's a hard 10?
Yeah, the door's closed.
Damn. So me and Adam came.
I would love to join Goth Boy.
Goth Boy clip.
Tracy was already in GBC, and Peep wanted to be part of a group. I saw this look in Peep's eyes where he like looked up to Tracy. You know, him wanting to be in GBC stemmed from his love for Tracy.
It's almost like a brand or something, you know, so it's like, it would benefit him to have like that group of like-minded people to make music with and, you know, rep. And then he was, you know, he was already on the rise and shit, so he's like, you know, I'm gonna help you guys, bring you guys up with me, you know?
I texted Chase. I said, hey, are you listening to the radio show? You need to listen to this dude Peep. And he goes, what's his deal? I was like, just listen. And then literally like 3 songs later, he goes, does he have a manager?
I meet him, and just talking with him, I'm like, you are above my head. I'm just like, dude, like, you're a star. Like, immediately I knew you're going to be huge. You know, I was asking him questions like, how do you live? Like, how are you doing this? He's just like, I don't know, I just kind of get by, whatever. So I'm like, all right, let me help you with your merch. I'm not tripping on contracts or anything. Just let me help you. You know, I'll help whatever I can, but you're gonna need like a big time management company. Like, you're pop, you're a big deal.
I first heard Lil Peep on Twitter. At that point, I'd never felt like I discovered something with such passion since I was like 15 years old. It was refreshing. It was like a breath of fresh air and like a slap in my fucking face, and I showed everyone around me.
Travis came bounding into my office with some things that he'd periodically come and show me things that he thought were cool and that he liked. He said, look at this kid. I can only describe it as an obsession. I was obsessed with this, like, 19-year-old boy.
That's where we're gonna end it, guys, just because my video is at 60 minutes. But on that note, I would like to say I think it's so beautiful how, so far at least, his music, like, nobody seemed to scrutinize him for the kind of music he was creating. You know, like, when we watched the X documentary, I feel like there were people who kind of looked and were like, what the fuck is this kid doing, until they realized how great it was. Where I feel like Peep, obviously he probably, you know, every artist has their haters and things, but so far, at least his close circle and the people around him all seemed to really, really believe in what he was doing. And I think that is such a beautiful thing, but also something that is inevitable when you are in the presence of great talent, you know, like, it's hard to deny. I'm excited for this documentary, guys, and I hope you guys are too. I hope that this is something that you guys want to see, because either way, I'm going to be recording all of the parts, because I love me a documentary, and I especially love the fact that Lil Peep is not an artist that was on my radar at all, but you guys have recommended him, and I'm glad that you have. I truly am. So I will see you guys in part 2. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe if you wish. Not if you're a hater, don't subscribe. We don't need you here. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, any kind of background knowledge you may have. I always love to read your guys' comments about what you know, because a lot of you know a lot more than I do, so I like to learn from you guys. You guys are like the best people to ask. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video.